Hey there, this is Tina from Content Creators Club. I'm so excited to do this deep dive, really talking about, 90% of my creator growth came from understanding this one difference. I'm about to tell you what that one difference is in just a second, but make sure you grab the freebie in the description below because it's going to really help you in order to make a difference in your content business. So let's kind of go ahead and dive right into it. So I have been shaking up the traditional creator advice. And I'm someone who tends to go against the grain. I don't like necessarily being told what to do. I like to figure things out on my own. And maybe you can relate to that in some extent. But when I joined this creator space, I kind of got a lot of traditional guru advice. And, I feel like traditional guru advice tends to come from hustle culture and they don't really prioritize like the feminine energy of allowing yourself space to have rest and relaxation and, be able to build a business that allows you to be built with your life, if that makes sense. So, anyways, I don't want to get on a tangent here, but here's the thing that I've learned. In order for you to grow a business, one thing I realize you don't need to do in your content business is that you don't need to write every day. You don't need to engage every day. You don't need to post every single day, right? You do not need to do any of those things in order to make money in your business. Now, there are a couple key things that you need to do, but the one thing I need you to know is that you don't need to do these things every single day, right? There's a better system and then there's a better methodology, right? And so I kind of wanted to challenge this theory. I wanted to test out this theory at the beginning of this year to see, like, okay, like if I posted less, can I actually still make money? Can I make more money? And the thing is, the short answer is yes. But the long answer is that most people think that in order for you to make more money, you need to post more. Now, if you're someone who believes that, you're probably tired and exhausted of having to do more. I think it's great for you to do less, but still accomplish the same or more results, right? And so, I've tested that theory where in the beginning of this year I posted 60% less, but yet I've been able to 15 times my creator income in the process, basing it from what I started at the beginning of this year revenue wise to where I'm starting now. I've been able to 15 times that revenue amount, right? And I posted less in the process. And that's because I understand that there's a clear difference between building a brand versus making money. And most creators confuse the two, right? Like, what is the difference between making money and building a brand? But you also may ask yourself, what comes first? Do you build the brand or do you focus on activities to make money? Now, if you are a creator who's in the beginning phase, I do think it's important to build a brand, but I do think it's even more important for you to make money. Most gurus will tell you, hey, you need to build this audience before you can sell things. You need to earn all these things before you can actually sell anything. And I don't necessarily agree with that sentiment because, like, let's just put it from like a real world perspective. Like, if you needed to pay rent, is your landlord going to wait until you have an audience before you can sell something to pay rent? Probably not, right? And so I'm a big believer in not only building a business that allows you to make money from day one, but also building it in such a way where you're not burnt out and adopting hustle culture, because that's not me personally, right? And so when we talk about the two of like what are the activities that look like of building a brand or building making money, is that like when it comes to building a brand, the goal is to build a social media following, right? Like you tend to see like these creators have hundreds of thousands of followers, right? And I've seen that before, but they're probably making like less than $1,000 a month. And that's the unfortunate truth that most people won't tell you, is that you can have a social media following, but it is deceiving in terms of how much money you're making, right? Now, if your goal is to make money, then I recommend for you to build your email list, right? And building your email list does a couple things, right? It allows you to not compete against an algorithm. The algorithm changes all the freaking time, and it's exhausting as a creator to keep up with it. And when you have an email list, you don't necessarily need to compete with the algorithm, but you also have a way to have a more of an intimate relationship with your audience without really competing with anyone else on social media, right? Because if people are going into your inbox, then or people are receiving content in their inbox, people want to hear from you, right? And that's why the whole reason why, people check their emails every day is because they want to stay up to date with all the information, right? And so you may be asking yourself, like, well, Tina, like, how do I do both, right? I've been able to accomplish both, where I'm able to both build a brand, but also build my revenue streams. And the things is that it comes down to these three core areas in your business. The one thing is that as a creator, the one thing that you need to work less on actually is creating content. Creating content can be exhausting, it can be taxing, but content is great, but I don't necessarily think you need to do everything after when it comes to creating content. And when I say everything after, I'm talking about content repurposing. Content repurposing can easily be done through AI and automations, and I made it very streamlined in my $9 daily content generator if you want to grab that to simplify the process, right? But like, my goal is to tell you that content repurposing is not a good use of your time, especially when you can use AI and automations to do it for you, right? The second thing is that you want to automate your lead gen with collaborations at scale. This collaborations at scale usually come in the form of freebie swaps, newsletter swaps, or bundles. And what collaborations at scale allow you to do is it allows you to rely less on social media, but rely more on your organic relationships. And so by relying more on those relationships, you're able to form more of an intimate connection with other people's audiences, but you're able to reach a mass audience without paying for social media or paying for ads or being on social media. And I'm a big believer in collaborations at scale because they've allowed me to reach over 130,000 individuals within the first 6 months of this year without being on social media, right? So that's a fun fact. The next thing is that if you want to automate your sales process, then I'm going to highly encourage you to leverage funnels and follow up. What that's really going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to be able to kind of increase order value. So if a person actually, signs up to get one of your digital products, then you can add order bumps, upsells, and downsells. And what that means is that you give people more opportunities to buy in the form of a funnel so that you increase, your checkout. So increase your income in the process, right? And so that is pretty much it. I really like doing this deep dive. Let me know in the comments if you like this. And if you're watching this on YouTube, definitely like this video. And if you're receiving this via email, let me know what your number one takeaway is. And make sure you grab the freebie in the description or button below. But anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.